Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Whoa.
Searching in the dark, sweat soaking through the floor.
Whoa.
And buried in your bones as an ache that you can't ignore. It's taking your breath, it's stealing your mind, and all that is real is left behind.
Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at ya. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see it's getting closer? Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over.
It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding over. It's a picture in the open, in your mind emotion. Waking at the break of every moment's only all that you know.
So tell me, do you wanna go? Where it's covered in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible come true.
It's taking over you.
Oh, this is the greatest show. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. Oh, this is the greatest show. Whoa.
The lost will become those renegades in the ring. Where the lost get found and be crowned in the circus game. Don't fight it, it's coming.
Try to fight it, it's coming.
It's only this moment.
You know it's only this moment.
It's crying out, shining every shining. Just surrender, cause it's coming and you want.
Wanna go where it's covered in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible come true.
Intoxicating you.
Oh, this is the greatest show. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. Oh, this is the greatest show. It's everything you ever want. It's everything you ever need. And it's here right in front of you. This is where you wanna be. It's everything you ever want. It's everything you ever need. And it's here right in front of you. This is where you wanna be. Where it's covered in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible come true.
It's taking over you.
Oh, this is the greatest show. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. Oh, this is the greatest show. Hey, 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 this is the greatest. This is the greatest. This is the greatest show.
I'm gonna be a mighty king, so enemies beware.
Why, I've never seen a king of beasts with quite so little hair.
I'm gonna be the main event, like no king was before. I'm brushing up, I'm looking down, I'm working on my roar.
The fog rather uninspired.
Oh, I just can't wait to be king.
No one say do this. No one say be there.
No one saying stop that.
No one say see here.
Free to
Run around all day.
free to do it all my way.
what's that? Who's he? No one cares for you. A snitch when you're in an orphanage. It's a hard knock life. Don't it feel like the wind is always howling? Don't it seem like there's never any light? Once a day, don't you wanna throw the towel in? It's easier than putting up a fight. No one's there when your dreams at night get creepy. No one cares if you grow or if you shrink. No one tries when your eyes get wet and weepy. From the cry, you would think this place would sing. Oh, Santa Claus, we empty belly life. Santa Claus, what's that? Rotten family life. No one cares for you. Full of sorrow life. When you're in it, no tomorrow life. It's a hard knock life. It's a hard knock life. It's a hard knock life.
How does a battered orphan, son of the poor, and a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean through Providence, impoverished in squalor, grew up to be a hero and a scholar? The $10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter. And the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man?
Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton. And there's a million things I haven't done. But just you wait, just you wait.
Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton. We are waiting in the wings for you. Waiting in the wings. You can never back down. You never learn to take your time. Oh, Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton. America sings for you. Will they know what you overcame? Will they know you rewrote the game? The world will never be the same.
What's your name, man?
Alexander Hamilton.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. You know, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
Come on, rise up. When you're living on your knees, you rise up. Tell your brother that he's gotta rise up. Tell your sister that she's gotta rise up. When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up?
I'm past patiently waiting. I'm passionately smashing every expectation. Every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. The first time in thinking past tomorrow. And
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
We're gonna rise up.
My shot.
We're gonna rise up.
Away my shot.
We're gonna rise up. Rise up. Rise up. Rise up. Rise up. Rise up.
Not throwing away my shot. Work, work,
Angelica,
work, work,
Eliza, and Peggy,
work. The Schuyler sisters.
Angelica, Eliza. Daddy said to be home by sundown. Daddy doesn't need to know. Daddy said not to go downtown. Like I said, you're free to go, but look around, look around. Angelica, remind me what we're looking for.
she's looking for me.
Eliza, I'm looking for a mind at work, work. I'm looking for a mind at work, work. I'm looking for a mind at work, work.
But you don't get a win unless you play in the game. Oh, you get love for it, you get hate for it, you get nothing if you wait for it, wait for it. What do you want for her? What do you want for her? What do you want for her? What do you want?
I've got to be, I've got to be, I've got to be, I gotta be in the room. Click, boom.
Ooh, I do. Hey, ooh, I do. Boy, you got me helpless. Look into your eyes and the sky's the limit. I'm helpless. Down for the count and I'm drowning in 'em. I have never been the type to try and grab the spotlight. We were at a revel with some rebels on a hot night, laughing at my sister as she's dazzling in the room. Then you walked in and my heart went boom. My sister made her way across the room to you, and I get nervous thinking what she gonna do. She grabs me by the arm, I'm thinking I'm through. Then you look back at me and suddenly I'm helpless. Oh, look at those eyes, so helpless. I know I'm down for the count and I'm drowning in 'em.
My life is gonna be fine, cause Eliza's in it.
Look into your eyes and the sky's the limit.
I imagine just so much it feels more like a memory. This is where it gets me. On my feet, the enemy ahead of me. If this is the end of me, run with me. Weapon in my hand, a command, and my men with me. Then I remember my Eliza is expecting me. Not only that, my Eliza is expecting. Gotta go, gotta get the job done. Gotta start a new nation, gotta meet my son. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. And you'll just like my country, I'm young, scrappy and hungry. I'm not throwing away my shot.
I am not throwing away my shot.
Till the world turns upside down.
The world turns upside down.
The world turns upside down. The world turns upside down.
The world turns upside down.
The world
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear, like you could fall and no one would hear?
So let that lonely feeling wash away, 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can't reach out your hand.
And someone will come running, and I know
They'll take you home.
even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
You will be found.
It's a place where we don't have to feel unknown. And every time you call out, you're a little less alone.
If you only say the word,
From across the silence, your voice is heard. Oh,
someone will come running
oh,
to take you home.
even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new, all is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new, all is new. You are not alone. 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 You are not alone.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, so let the sun come streaming in,
'Cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You
Well, hello. If we haven't met before, my name is Carson. I'm a junior here at Grace, and the song we just sang is from a musical called Dear Evan Hansen, and I wanted to just talk a little bit about what the song really means, both in my life and also, I think, in other people's lives as well. So, to start, a little overview of what the show is actually about. Dear Evan Hansen is one of my favorite Broadway musicals. It's about a socially anxious teenager named Evan Hansen, and he is going through this wonderful thing that we like to call high school. And while there, and in all his schooling beforehand, he's never really been able to find a community that actually stuck. He's never been able to find anyone to be in his corner during hard times, and everyone that he does hang out with, or who he calls his friends, actually seem to want to stay as far away from him as possible because they don't want to associate with the kid who's the outcast. And so Evan Hansen is really all about finding the community that does stick. And I think the reason why I connect with the show, and specifically Evan, so well is because I've been in a very similar situation beforehand. So to start, I was never really the kid who fit in a lot of elementary or even middle school. And that is largely because of something that happened when I was 2 years old. When I was 2 years old, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. And that meant that I could not do a lot of the things that people my age were fond of doing. So instead of playing contact sports like football, I played golf. Instead of playing video games and a VR headset, I sat at home and wrote stories. And given the generation I was growing up in, that didn't connect very well to anyone that was around my age. And so, growing up, I was usually on the outside looking in when it comes to friends and when it comes to actually having a stable community. On top of that, in the first 8 years of my life, I moved 8 different times. And the longest of any of those stays was about a year, maybe a year and a half or so. And so any community that I had built up, that I had felt like I had built up around myself, was usually gone come the next year. And that was really hard because we were 8, 7, 6 years old. We didn't have social media, we didn't have text messages to be able to keep up with each other. So once I was out of the equation, once they were out of the equation, once someone moved, you generally never heard from them again. And so that was really difficult. And so I'm going through epilepsy, I'm going through not really being able to connect to anybody for very long, and that's the majority of my story for the first 8 years of my life. And so when I was about 9 years old, I moved to California with my parents. And we got a house, we got a new house, decided to go to a new school originally, and that just didn't fit well with me for the same reason. I wasn't able to do a lot of the things that a lot of the cool kids thought were cool, and so I was commonly the outsider, and even the people who were outside didn't connect well with me because I still didn't connect with them and what they wanted to do. And so oftentimes I found myself alone in a lunch corner eating by myself. And during this time, it started to get really hard on me. So from a very young age, I was born and raised in the church. And from a very young age, I often was dealing with the question of, hey, why would a good God, if there is one, put me in this situation that I'm in and give me this condition to where I can't relate to anybody? And so while I was dealing with that, I commonly asked myself that question during this time of my life. And so, new school, new house, and because I was an epileptic, that also meant a new neurologist. Now, if you guys don't know what a neurologist is, it's someone who looks into my brain to make sure that there's no epileptic activity going on, or sees how much epileptic activity there is going on, and tells me, do I need higher dosage of medication, what medication to take? And so we were searching for this neurologist for a while. During that search, I actually decided I'm done with school. And I came home crying a couple times to my mom because school had just gotten so hard, not being able to connect with anybody, that I decided I want to be homeschooled. I don't want to deal with people at school. Any connection that I'm going to make, I want to make outside of school so that I don't have to see these people every single day and so that they don't know everything about me. And so, after dropping out of school, my mom was gracious enough to homeschool me for a while. And during that time, we did end up finding a new neurologist, and he diagnosed me with some new medication. I was about 12 years old when this happened. And the medication he diagnosed me with was different from any other kind of medication I had taken up to that point. It was a swallow medication where I didn't chew it at all, and that really freaked me out because I was always like, am I gonna choke? And the reason why I thought that was because the pills were huge. And so I'm taking these pills, and I've been taking them for a couple days now, and on the 4th night of taking them, I overdose in the middle of the night. The doctor had prescribed me too much of a dosage, and I had overdosed on epilepsy medication and spent probably the next week or so in the hospital. During that time, I barely ate anything, was hardly able to hold water down because my body was just trying to get everything out of it through either way. And so that was undoubtedly the hardest week of my life up to that point, probably still the hardest week of my life. And after that happened, I was just kind of like, this whole God thing, great, mom and dad, but it's just not for me. It's just not working for me. And I never vocalized that to them during the time, but I definitely thought of it myself, and I was like, I just kind of want to get away from any sign of like a good God because I don't think there is one. How could he let all this happen to me? I guess I didn't know the word for it yet, but I guess at this point I would probably call myself, if I knew the word, an agnostic. I believed that there was some form of morality in the world, that there was some form of maybe deity that controls everything because the earth is too beautiful to come out of nothing. But I just didn't know what it was. And so after that, I kept going to church because I wanted to keep my parents happy, and my life just suddenly took a dip. My epilepsy often came in pretty standard waves, so you would get to a crest where I wouldn't have epilepsy for maybe 3 or 4 months, and then I would get into a trough where every 6 months, pretty much daily, I would be having pretty bad epileptic seizures, waking me up in the middle of the night, and it got so bad to the point where oftentimes I would go to bed afraid of whether or not I would wake up in the morning. And that became a really dark time for me in my life. Started spiraling into pretty deep depression. Became really cynical about the world. I didn't really understand how anything could be good. Like, why am I, as a 11, 12-year-old kid, going through all this pain and all this torment is the only way I can describe it. And so, through years of that, I eventually get to the point where we find a new neurologist after the first one that gave me the overdose. We find a new neurologist. She was great. She diagnosed me medication that helped a bunch. I started having seizures less and less. And it got to the point where in summer after 7th grade year, I'd hit a milestone, and that was my first year ever without any epileptic seizures. And because of that, I was able to convince my mom, take convince with a grain of salt, argue my way into my mom allowing me to go to a summer camp with my church. And I wasn't going because of the spiritual experience. No. I was totally just going to hang out with my friends because at this point of my life, most of my friends that I had made during homeschooling had moved away. Because this was shortly after COVID. A lot of them have moved to areas of better life and easier housing. And because of that, I was kind of left alone, and the only friends that I had left were friends that I had made in the church. And so I wanted to go and hang out with my buddies for 4 days and go camping. That sounded like an amazing time to me, even if I had to sit through a sermon or two. And so while I was up there, it was night 3, and this was usually the night where the pastor put out literally everything on the table. He laid it all out, and this time, Pastor Dre talked about the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus. It was like a brief overview, but it was a really detailed overview at the same time. I don't really know how to describe it, but it was basically the story of Easter and Good Friday condensed into a 40-minute sermon. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was, it had to be the Holy Spirit or something moving that day, because for some reason, I understood that sermon and what Jesus actually went through, and the fact that every way that I was living my life, causing him more and more pain upon the cross, that suddenly became real to me. I suddenly understood what it meant for him to go through what he did on the cross, and this was a story, given that I grew up in church, I had heard probably hundreds of times, but that time it clicked for me. And all of a sudden, I start feeling this immense sense of regret, and that I had caused him all of this. And then when I heard that he had risen from the dead, even though I heard it hundreds of times, for some reason it filled me with a different kind of joy, something that I had never felt before in my life. I, praise God, have 2 loving parents, but I had never felt the kind of joy from them that I had from this experience I was having now. It was supernatural. And so, at the end of the sermon, the pastor says anyone who wants to give their life may give their life. And so that day, I decided to give my life to Christ, and I fully surrendered to him. I told him I was sorry for what I'd done, and I wanted to be a child of God. And immediately afterwards, you can talk to my mom, who picked me up after the camp. My life totally took a full-blown 180. I suddenly became way more joyful. My epilepsy that I still had, I didn't view so much as a hindrance, even though it was still very much there, and I still felt like at any point I could have a seizure. I now looked at it as, I can make it through. I can live with this because I know that there's something better on the other side. And so for me, it was a win-win situation. But moving on. So for about a year after that, I'm living the best life I ever have. I started a new school, Grace, for 8th grade, and am finally able to hold a community, finally be able to build up a community that I actually can call my own. Everyone understood Jesus so well at this school, and they didn't judge you based on your flaws. They didn't judge you based on any condition you might have had. And so I was able to finally build a community that I had called my own, that I had prayed for as a little kid. And I go through 8th grade year, start the beginning of 9th grade year, and I'm going to church. I'm wanting to learn more and more about Jesus than I ever have before. I've heard all the stories because I grew up in the church, but now I actually want to know what they mean and what some of the stuff that Jesus said that was a little bit ambiguous when I was a child, and understand what that means too. And so November of 2022 rolls around, and my mom says, you're going to have to go in for an EEG. If you don't know what an EEG is, think of it as an MRI for your brain. They scan your brain, and the EEG reads and tells you how much epileptic activity is in your brain. And based on that information is how the neurologist diagnoses you medication. I got the brain scan, and it came back totally clear. And not only was it fully cleared, there was no sign that any epileptic activity was ever there to begin with. Like usually when people do get cured of epilepsy, usually when they do, some people do grow out of it, there's always semblance that there has been either brain damage or there has been some trace, some remnant left of the epileptic activity in their brain. But for me, it was totally cleared, and that was the point when I was like, this is a literal miracle. Like, I still, to this point, still questioned some of the claims that the Gospels made or Acts made of Jesus and the apostles healing people, but now it fully made sense to me. I was in. It was a miracle in my own life of God. And so, after that, the reason I bring up all this to you, the reason I stood here and told you a little bit of my story and my journey through not only finding God, not only being healed of epilepsy, but also finally finding a community, is because I think it connects really well to what the song is saying. The chorus of the song goes, even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. And yes, that's true in the sense that the characters are singing about, and the fact that humans will find you, you will find a community if you look hard enough for it, and that human goodness will eventually prevail. But it's also so true about God in our lives. I mean, even when the dark comes crashing through, that's the opening line of the chorus. And it took me till, God was always calling out to me, but it took me till I had reached the very bottom, till I had reached the deepest, darkest point of my life, to the point where I was wondering why would I want to live life if I'm dying on the inside, that his call finally made sense, that I finally let go of my pride and fully accepted him. It took till the dark fully crashed through in my life for that to hit me. And so what I want to leave you guys with a little bit is just the encouragement that, yes, people can fill you up. People can find you. You may have a great community. I have a wonderful community now at this school and outside of school. But the truth about any human community, the truth about anything on this earth is that it will eventually pass away. It will eventually perish, as will the rest of the world. But the one thing that will never perish is Jesus, and he is the most important thing in our lives. And because of that, he offers you the opportunity to be found by God, to become a child of God. And I guess I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I connect with the song so much, but also the idea that Jesus will find you wherever you are, whether you're at the highest point in your life or whether you're at the lowest, deepest, darkest valley of your life. He's calling out and he wants to find you. He wants to bring you into the community of heaven. And yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what this song meant to me in my life, what I think it means in the sense of our spiritual life and the gospel. And so I just want to say thank you guys so much for letting me share this with you guys. If any of you want to talk afterwards or hear a little bit more about my story, I'll be over there, and I'd love to talk with all you guys. But for now, let's get back to the show.
scream and shout. We rise because we stuck together, champions one and all. We're all in this together. Once we know that we are, we're all stars, and we see that we're all in this together. And it shows when we stand hand in hand, make our dreams come. We're all in this together. When we reach, we can fly, go inside, we can make it. We're all in this together. As we see, there's a chance that we have, and we take it. Wildcats in the house, yeah, we got it going on. Wildcats in the house, everybody say it now. Wildcats everywhere, wave your hands up in the air. That's the way we do it. Let's get to it. Time to show the world. Hey, oh, hey, oh. All right, here we go. We're all in this together. Once we know that we are, we're all stars, and we see that we're all in this together. And it shows when we stand hand in hand, make our dreams come. We're all in this together. When we reach, we can fly, go inside, we can make it. We're all in this together. Once we see, there's a chance that we have, and we take it. Wildcats everywhere, wave your hands up in the air. That's the way we do it. Let's get to it. Come on, everyone.
In sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came. That voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the opera is there inside my mind.
Sing once again with me a strange duet. My power over you grows stronger yet. And though you turn from me to glance behind, the phantom of the opera is there inside your mind.
gotten to the point in this year where the students have become quite unruly.
Welcome to Fine Arts. I'm Mr. Pate. Enjoy the show.
I'm tired.
It's just always acts. It's never-ending acts.
These kids are nuts. Absolutely crazy.
Jellicoe.
The children are always sick.
Always sick. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow,
Silence! I will not tolerate squawking, whispering, or twitching of toes. This is a school, not a zoo. If you wish to behave like animals, then I will treat you as such. Discipline, order, and terror. That is the Trunchbull way. Silence is really the only noise a child should make. If anyone is caught smiling or laughing, you'll spend a week in the chokey. Any questions? No? Good.
Never again will she get the best of me. Never again will she take away my freedom. And we won't forget the day we fought for the right to be a little bit naughty. Never again will the chokey door slam. Never again will I be bullied and never again will I doubt it when my mommy said that a miracle
Wow. Thank you so much, students. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. That was great. My name is Mark Coster, and I have the privilege of being the principal at the secondary campus. So a lot of these kids are mine, but we also have some 5th and 6th graders representing tonight. It was fantastic, kids. I love these programs. I love just co-curricular programs that allow students to develop God-given talents and abilities they have, and oftentimes to discover brand new ones. It's a great time to discover talents and abilities that you have and let people like Mrs. Ebenhock and Mrs. Carter kind of help develop and grow them. And so I'm so grateful for that. And so what a special night, a really fun show. I really appreciated Carson Coker opening up his heart for us tonight. Boy, I didn't have that kind of poise as an 11th grader. So he's here tonight doing this, and he's golfing in playoffs in a couple days. So I mean, he's all over the place. So appreciate his heart for the Lord and desire to serve Him in this platform and in a variety of other platforms. He is looking to serve Him all the time. So so grateful for you guys coming out and supporting the arts tonight and this entire school year. Revolting children. Wow. This time of year, it feels like that sometimes. But it's almost summertime, so we're about to hand them back to you for a few months. So thank you so much for coming tonight. Mrs. Ebenhock has a few awards or raffles to give out tonight, so here you go, Mrs. Ebenhock.
All right, so we've got some raffles here. And is the Trench Bowl still in the building? I don't know if she's... Oh, let's get the Trench Bowl back out. What do you guys think about the Trench Bowl? All right, she's gonna pull the first one. This is for our signed cast poster. Okay. McD. McD, the greatest showman himself, McD. All right. The next one is for a Broadway Blitz poster, and I'm gonna grab an elementary kid over here. Layla, come here. Layla, come here. Come here. All right, Layla, pick one out. Don't look, don't look. Okay.
Yeah. Faith Delgado.
Faith Delgado. You know what? I see her family sitting right in the front row. I'm going to give it to her little sister. Can you get that? All right, all right. Thank you, Layla. Okay, the next one, oh, this one looks really fun. We've got all kinds of Broadway Blitz things. It says, I'm not dramatic, I'm theatrical. This could go to a lot of kids and a lot of families here, I'm not gonna lie. All right, Mr. Coster, why don't you pick one of these out?
Zema.
Zema. I don't know who you are, Zema, but come up and get it. You can stick it back in. All right. Ooh. Okay, this is a biggie. Here comes Zema. We got you. Zema. So sorry, Zema. We got it right now. Okay. All right. 2 front row tickets to Romeo and Juliet. We haven't even started this yet, by the way. But this is going to be fantastic. I'm not joking. It's going to be so good. All right. Let me see. Who do we have? Britton, come here.
I can't see in the dark.
All right, Britton. No looking.
Melanie Break.
Melanie Bricht. We probably just totally butchered your name, but we tried. Fantastic. All right. A couple things I want to say real fast. We do have some sponsors that have been sponsoring us all years, and I want to just kind of let you know who they are. We have Regency Supply. Yeah. We've got Marty's Hobbies. Zwag Termite. Got to get rid of the bugs. We have Joey James Photography. Demores. And we have Birdies for Danny, which is for mental health awareness. Thank you to our sponsors for the year. We're so thankful of what you guys have contributed and just being part of our team. Thank you so very, very much. All right, we have a couple thank yous we would like to say, first of all. First one is to our Booster Club and all of the people, men and women, who are working tirelessly. And Kim Johnson, who is our Booster President, who's amazing. She's right over here. We have Mrs. Saunders herself right here. She does everything. She's in charge of everything. We've got Jeff Johnson back there on the camera. I have to give a big shout out to our tech team and our tech teacher, Mr. Carter, up in the booth. We've got Greg Burns back on the soundboard. Leah Sumner, who helps with some choreo. We've got our admin. Thank you, admin, for supporting us, and for Grace Church for allowing us to be here. Revolting children, all the things that we're doing here. And I would like to do one other thing tonight, if I could have my senior girls come up for a moment. Senior girls. They didn't know I was going to do this, so please come up and stand in the light. I've got some senior girls here I'd like to say something to here, okay? I've got one senior who's not expecting to come up here. Sydney, would you come up here from tech? Sydney's like, I don't come on stage, I work back there. But Sydney, you got to find your way up here and come up here with the girls here. All right. Stand in the light, Sydney. You know the light. All right. These girls have been with us for a long time, and we are so honored to have them here. And it's always hard when we have to say goodbye to our seniors, but we always want them to know that they have a home here with us, and we are so thankful for our time with them on and off of the stage. Thank you, senior girls. By the way, I do have one senior boy, Nolan. I'm not gonna make you come up here for flowers because I didn't think you'd want them, but let's give a shout out to Nolan too. You guys can jump back in the line if you want to. All right.
All right, I'm just gonna take the mic real quick and thank our beloved two leaders here. Come out into the light. You know how to find the light. Mrs. Ebenhoff. She puts this incredible production together for us every year, and this was such a fun one. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And we have a tradition here where we do a signed cast photo for our teachers, and they love putting it on their wall. It brings them so much joy. And Miss Trenchbull. I got the joy of turning the most beautiful woman every night into this delightful, it was just the joy of my week. We love you so much. These two ladies are just the most incredible women. Our kids are so blessed to be under their leadership and their direction. We just are you guys are incredible, and we're so blessed to have you both. Love you.
All right. By the way, right after we finish the bows, which we're gonna do in just a second with all the kids, there will be a photo with the Trench Bowl and all the children, just because we can. All right, so just so you know, right after the bows, kids, stay out here for a photo with the Trench Bowl. It's all that and more. But would you parents stand up for our last time of the season, clapping for these kids as they take their final bow. Thank you guys, have a great evening.